All right, so we're diving deep today
Hmm.
into, well, deserts.
Desert.
Yeah, deserts, but like not just the sand and the heat. We've got
It's metaphorical desert, right?
exactly. We've got
Exploitative.
this snippet about like all the survival challenges of actual deserts, right?
Yeah.
And then we're jumping to, well, a story from the Bible about Jesus feeding like tons of people in the desert.
5,000 men.
Right, 5,000 plus who knows how many women and children with just like a handful of food.
5 loaves and 2 fish, to be exact.
Yeah, 5 loaves, 2 fish. I mean, talk about a contrast, huh? One source is all about scarcity, the other,
Abundance.
exactly. So we're going to see, what can we learn about, being resourceful, having faith, and overcoming crazy challenges from these, like, totally different perspectives.
A great question.
So when you picture a desert, what comes to mind?
Well, I think vast emptiness, scorching sun, maybe a lone cactus.
Right, like the opposite of a place you'd want to have a picnic. And, like, our first source really hammers that home. It's like surviving in a desert. It's a constant battle against the elements, lack of water, food, you name it.
It's a true test of human resilience.
But then you've got people who are like drawn to that challenge,
Yeah.
to venture tourism, right? Why do you think that is? What is it about deserts that attracts some people?
Well, I think for some, it's the appeal of pushing their limits, testing themselves against like the rawest form of nature, the stark beauty, the solitude.
It's like finding beauty in the struggle.
Exactly. And maybe a sense of accomplishment, like I survived this.
Right, bragging rights for sure. But then we switch gears completely to our second source, this story of Jesus feeding thousands. And not just anywhere, but specifically in the desert.
A place where resources are notoriously scarce, which makes the miracle all the more.
Powerful, right? Like it kind of flips the script on the whole desert equals hardship thing. Like even in the most challenging environments, there's this.
Potential for something more.
Exactly. But I mean, practically speaking, how do you even feed that many people with like 5 loaves of bread and a couple of fish? Did the disciples have some kind of system? Did people complain about the portions?
Well, the story focuses more on the spiritual aspect than the logistics.
Right, right.
But it does highlight that Jesus used what was available, however small it seemed. And that's an important lesson. We often focus on what we lack instead of being resourceful with what we have.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about the miracle itself, but about the mindset.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's resourcefulness,
Yeah.
but then there's this whole faith thing. I mean, even Jesus' own disciples were like, are you sure about this?
They doubted. They couldn't see how it was possible.
Which is kind of relatable, right?
Yeah.
But how does faith, like, actually translate into, doing something, overcoming real challenges in the real world?
Well, I think faith isn't about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It's about believing in the possibility of a solution, even when you can't see the path yet.
Okay, that makes sense.
And sometimes that belief, that faith, it's what gives you the courage to take action,
Yeah.
to be resourceful, to look for those possibilities instead of just focusing on the limitations.
So it's not about, like, wishing for a miracle, but about making things happen, even when it seems impossible. Like taking your 5 loaves and 2 fish, whatever those are for you.
Exactly. Maybe your 5 loaves and 2 fish are your skills, your network, your creativity.
Yeah, your unique strengths.
Yeah.
But what if, like, your personal desert isn't about a lack of food or water or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's more like, feeling lost, lacking direction in life?
Mm-hmm.
Does this whole resourcefulness thing still apply?
Absolutely. It's the same principle, just applied differently. If you're feeling lost, your resources might be introspection, right? Maybe it's seeking out a mentor or experimenting with new things to find your passion.
Oh, I see. It's about, like, taking stock of your inner landscape, not just the external circumstance.
Exactly. It's acknowledging the desert you're in and then figuring out what you have to navigate it.
Okay, so big picture. Deserts, whether they're literal or these, like, metaphorical struggles, they can be tough. But they can also be places of, like, incredible beauty and self-discovery.
And unexpected abundance.
Right. And whether you're facing a shortage of something, a difficult situation, or just feeling lost, you always have more within you than you think.
Absolutely. The key is recognizing those resources and using them creatively.
So what's your current desert? Think about that. What are your 5 loaves and 2 fish? And how can you use them to find your way to, your own version of abundance?
Some food for thought.
Definitely. Thanks for joining this deep dive, everyone. Until next time.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.